Hey everybody, it's Steve, and today I'm going to be doing a quick update on Townstar and the big event they have going on in May. I kind of missed out on this because of that issue I had with my power supply, so I'm sorry I didn't tell you about this before it started, but we're only on the first week of it, so you can get ready for next week to participate and win some Gala tokens. So let's go ahead and look at the announcement of what's going on in Gala Games and Townstar this week. So they're having a big contest in May where they're giving away $250,000 each week in prizes for a total of $1 million given away. And this is pretty exciting. They only posted this a day ago, so it's not like I had a lot of time, but just with catching up and everything, I didn't see this was happening. So the basics of it, and you can come and read this, I'll have a link to the post, is they're giving the top 2 players $10,000 in Gala, 2 through 10, 5,000, top 50, 49 get 1,500, top 50, player 50, as luckily enough to be exactly 50, gets $5,000. That's kind of fun that they're doing that, right? Player 100 also gets $5,000, while the players in between 50 and 100 only get 500. And then they have player 200 gets $5,000, player 300 gets $5,000, 400 gets $5,000, and players 500 will get $10,000 as well. So if you don't think you should be playing this week, let me tell you, I joined just a few hours ago. I'm up into the area of 750, and I know I'm going to be able to make top 500. I'm pretty sure. And if you get into this soon, because I have to go to bed soon, you'll be able to go ahead and have a chance to get one of these prizes. And obviously, if you're in the 400 to 499, you only won $75 or $100 or $150. You can check them all out, but everybody in the top 50 gets at least $75 in Gala tokens. That's pretty exciting because most of the time you got to play and you got to compete to get into the top 100 to win a prize, and that's been harder and harder to do. They're doing this as basically they're moving the game out of they're moving it out of beta and into the main one. The thing to know if you're going to try to join this week, and they said this basically inside a post they did, is that cake gets 4 times the points. So every single person is going to be trying to make a cake town, and I'll show you my cake town that I'm starting to try to make, and I'll just give you a little look at it there. Now, they did update their rules as they came out of beta, and some things changed, and the main thing that changed is one player is no longer allowed to play 2 accounts. In the past, I had told you that I've done that a couple times, and at the time, there was no rule against it, but they have updated their rules, and so we go over and look at the rules that are going on, and you have to follow if you want to qualify for these, is that, can you have more than one town? No. Can I play with my friends or family in the same household? Yes. They encourage that. However, if they look at it and it looks like you're playing not with 2 different people, but one person playing both, you could be in trouble and you could get banned. How would they know that? Well, they're going to kind of look at what your town is doing. If both players are selling items at the exact same time, that helps prove that there's 2 separate players. If one town is selling stuff and another town is not selling stuff, well, then you're in trouble. But they did add in that you can use scripts to play. So that's kind of interesting because I thought they were kind of against botting, but they said the script has to do nothing that is outside the rules of the game or you would be banned. So those are all the new rules. Now, the other thing they did for this special that's going on was release some new items and take away one critical thing that normally helps players work together. And that's that for this event, for the month of May, with all this money on the line, we are all playing solo. There will be no trading. So the players who have the items that help themselves out will be able to really rule, and the players without them will still have a shot because they won't have to worry about somebody running multiple accounts or a couple teams powering up 2 to 3 accounts to some level that none of us can ever get to. So the Jimmy that normally is used for trading when you're playing with multiple friends is not available to be used in the month of May in this competition. I don't know if he'll come back later or if they're just going to get rid of him. Maybe they'd rather this became a competition where each of us just have to build our own town all on our own and not have any outside help, because that's really where the most skill comes in balancing out your town. So now we're going to take a quick look inside Gala Games at the new items that they did release with this. So they talk a little bit in Townstar about the big event, and they're giving away all that money, but they coincided that with going ahead and releasing the different stands that you can buy. Now, I've mentioned I have a legendary wheat stand. The wheat stands are now on sale, so you can buy them. They don't have any cotton or sugar or other stands, but it's a possibility during this month we might see some additional ones go ahead and come into the game. We'll have to see what happens. I don't know. They did introduce these new silos. These silos are basically free silos that you can buy that only hold one specific mineral. The good thing about these is if you were to purchase them, you could put them next to the windmills that you want to make that specific item. So if you so that only brine goes in here, and then the windmills around it all need brine, and you don't have to worry about wheat accidentally filling it up, because that's one of the things that can be hard to manage, is not growing too much wheat and having enough brine, having enough sugar, and having those all balanced out to be able to put on a different storage center for some of those ones that you don't want to overflow or get overflowing by your wheat production. Gives you that ability to not have that happen. Now, they seem to vary in size. I haven't purchased any of these. If I was going to purchase one, I don't know if I would go for the epics or the legendaries. They're pretty expensive at almost half an Ethereum. But this first one at only 0.062 Ethereum. If you have some Ethereum, maybe you can come pick them up. There's still a decent amount left at the time of filming, and we are in the first day. We'll have to see if they do sell out. I do know these legendary wheat stands, they haven't been selling. They've been at the same 222 since I've been watching it. But they do have some of these. Basically, these feed wheat to each of your buildings, and the legendaries feed 5. I think these feed 3, 2, and 1. So that I'll show you that on my map because I actually have one of these. So that gives you a breakdown of the new items that have come out, the big contest that they're doing, all the money that they're giving away. And if you haven't played Townstar in a while like me, well, then you just might want to hop in, right? So let's go ahead and I'll take you over to my town and I'll show you what I'm doing and I'll show you where I'm at. Like I said, I got started a little late. We have 4 hours and 4 days, 2 hours of the 5 days left. I didn't get going till about half the day, and I'm currently sitting at about 796th place. I still have a way to go, and I'm not going to get anywhere near the top guys who are already at 3 million points. I don't think I could have competed with them anyways, but I do have a few items that are going to help me. I have the elf bot, I have the sugar bot, and I have this legendary wheat stand. So basically, this legendary wheat stand is feeding 5 automatically to all of these. So these ones, all they need is wood. They don't need any wheat. These ones over here get 4 because they're 1 removed. This one gets 4 for being 1 removed, and this one over here gets 3 from being kind of diagonally 1 removed, and this one back here also gets 3. So it feeds wheat to all of these different buildings. One of the other things that is pretty neat about having this big one that does 5 is up to 5 spaces away, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can put an item and it will automatically I can put the things that make feed and it will automatically make them. So I'm going to be setting up a cow pasture somewhere over here, and I'll be able to go ahead and place those things and do some and have them automatically be producing. So that's one of the next things I'm going to do. As you can see, just for anybody who hasn't watched my beginner's guide that kind of shows you how to get yourself to be able to creating gas easily, I'll show you basically what I ended up doing in this game in the beginning. This was a forest. I went ahead and I put 1 windmill up here, 1 windmill right about here, and 1 windmill over in this area. So I had 3 spread out that could still go by 30 seconds. Now, I went ahead and put my wheat stand in the middle, giving them one of them, it was like right here. So it was giving one of them 3, one of them 2, one of them 1, and then one of them all 5. And then I just had them create me flour. While then I went ahead over here and I got rid of this wood and I ended up building my gas area. So as you can see right here, I am making gas with just 1 power plant, with 2 water refineries, and this. Eventually, when I have a little bit more money, I'll put a second power plant right here. And because I want to conserve space and not go any further than that, I'm probably only going to go 1 refinery since I'm playing by myself. I don't really need to overproduce gas, and I'll just go back and forth from producing petroleum to fuel. If you wanted your fuel just to be on auto making and never have to touch it, you could put another refinery right here once you put your other power station right here. And you'll go ahead and be able to have the one on the outside that's only touching 1 power plant making your petroleum, and the other one making your gas, so that it has 6 gas. As you can see, this little setup here, you have to have at least 1 water in the middle with a water and a water on the outside, and then you just put the refinery in between the 2 water that will be making your gas, because it'll also be able to get 2 water. This is why I do not have to produce water, because I will never need it, as long as I keep all of my stuff in this little area. So this is a real important thing to learn how to master as you play this game. Being able to set up a nice area to produce your grass and produce your lumber that is really concise and simple is really good. And I've found that this is the best setup if you don't need a lot of fuel or you don't need a lot of power. So when you're going cakes like I'm going this week, I don't need a lot of that. And I'll have these spaces over here once I put the second power pack in, where I can go ahead and put my cakeries. That way they get their energy that they'll need for making cakes. So that's kind of the idea of my town. As you can see, I'm going to have these ones over here making flour. I'm going to set up more windmills up in this area. I'm going to set up my salt over here. I'll put another one of these right over here. And then back in this area right here, I'm going to set up a area with auto-producing feed and then my cows and chickens. So that's kind of the breakdown of my town. Maybe I'll give you a little peek at it if I make another video at the end of this week showing you how I did. Let me know if you want to see that or not. Again, Gala Games is an exciting project. I'll go ahead and take this off and we'll just take a little bit more look at what they have going on. If you haven't heard about this, you can go ahead and come here. If you click on my link and you try the games, you'll earn 100 Gala tokens, but you do have to try them and play them to get your reward. Otherwise, you don't get them. If I go here, I can show you like so. Thank you. Somebody signed up with my link, and they went ahead and they actually played, so I got 100 tokens. But if I look at my social, I've had a lot of people come here and check it out, and they don't really play. If I get 18 more of you to play, I'll earn another NFT, so that'll be really cool. If you happen to click on my link and play, that would be spectacular. If you don't play, maybe you'll come back because Townstar isn't the kind of game you like. You might be waiting for Mirandus or Fortified to come out, so we'll talk just a tiny bit. We'll end with just talking about the different games they have and the fact that they say that within the next few months we could see this grow to about 8 different games that you see listed here ready for people to be able to play and earn Gala tokens by playing them. So Mirandus is going to be their MMORPG, and it should be pretty fun. It's still in development. Fortified is going to be a tower defense game. It is still being made, and it is going to be one-on-one matches from my understanding. They should not take as long as Townstar, where you have to play kind of like all day, every day to really compete. And Mirandus will be, quite a time sink as well. They have talked about some first-person shooters, some other types of games coming out here. And they do have the Gala node. Gala nodes are pretty cool because you get the NFTs that they sell dropped into your wallet every once in a while, along with Gala rewards. Now, they've said don't look at them as an investment, as they are relatively expensive, but look at them if you really want to be a part of this ecosystem and helping support a decentralized gaming world where you're going to be able to have a lot of different NFTs where players get to earn them and own them, and there will be people who can make a living just by playing Townstar, Mirandus, and Fortified if they're really good and they live somewhere where winning a few $100s a month can maybe afford for them to survive. That's a very interesting thing that happens in the crypto world, and sometimes it can be bad if it ruins a platform, but in this case they're just showing off that they are really good at the game. So we're going to go ahead and end it there. I wanted to just give a quick shout out to all my new subscribers. I'm almost up to 1,300. If you want to see this kind of content about Mirandus and other games that have good passive ROIs, yield farming, and platforms that are social like Torum, that's kind of what I'm aiming to cover. I'm also going to be looking to get into Solana the next few days. If anybody wants to leave a comment here with a good project on Solana for me to look at, I'd love that. And I'll also be doing a poll on which one of the platforms you want to see. I'm going to be doing polls more often. I have a new kind of funny one up today because I got a project that asked me to do a video, and then they didn't like my cost that I told them it would cost them, and then they showed me a link to a video they said they paid the guy money for, but then he didn't say it was a paid promotion. So I emailed him back and said, you better tell him to say that was a paid promotion, otherwise I might have to report his YouTube channel, because you have to do that on YouTube. I'm not getting paid for this video, so I don't have to put that link, but if you are getting paid, you're supposed to tell people, and I always will tell you. And so this one so far, there's only been 8 votes, but most people say tell everyone who they are and what they did, which I have not done yet. And one person said, hey, just stay away, but stay quiet. They made a mistake. I'm leaning towards this only because the video now has been marked as paid promotion, and those people know who they are, and we'll see what happens if they decide they want to work with me or not. I will always tell you that a project is working with me, and I'm not going to lower my price for somebody because they say some other person did a video for cheaper and then they didn't even tell people they were promoting it. That looked really bad. I didn't like that. So I'll just end it there. I hope you are all having a good weekend, or had a good weekend, or having a good day. And check out Townstar. Maybe you'll enjoy winning a little bit of money this week if you decide to play. Bye.